Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Pubarama, and in today's video, I will be breaking into the BANSHEE 900R versus the Banshee. This was a suggested video that I actually thought was a great idea. Yesterday I did the Sultan versus the Sultan RS, and I was actually quite surprised to see how well the Sultan did. However, I feel like this is actually going to be a really interesting comparison. The BANSHEE 900R is one of the fastest supercars in the game, and it's been like this ever since the Benny's update began. The BANSHEE 900R goes over 130 miles per hour, where the normal Banshee is just your average run-of-the-mill sports car. Now, it's got some good handling, and it's got some really good times, but is it able to stack up to its supercar upgraded counterpart? In today's video, we're going to be finding out. Now, we're going to start off driving around in the normal Banshee. This car is not incredibly fast, but it's still pretty enjoyable just to have a bit of fun in. I mean, it's a Viper. How can you not have fun in it? Too bad Viper is no longer making any new cars, to at least what I'm aware. But here we are, pressing on the accelerator, and as you can see, pretty fast actually. And the handling is not bad at all for the Banshee. It doesn't really have much upgradability, which is a bit of a bummer, honestly. I really hope that Rockstar does bring some liveries in the future. If they're not planning on updating the game anymore, you know, if they're planning on working on GTA 6 or whatever they said in that post, then really what I hope Rockstar does is they start having some liveries and new customization for a lot of the older cars in the game. I actually think that'd be a great way to keep people playing. But I gotta say, the Banshee sounds absolutely amazing. That high-pitched purr of the engine is just meow. Plus, its handling is really impressively good. It's going to be hard for the BANSHEE 900R, honestly, to keep up with this vehicle. You can see here, just very easily making these corners, and even though it's not the fastest sports car, I can definitely say that this is actually going to be a very hard vehicle for the 900R to compete with, especially on the timed course we're going to be using, because it involves a lot of cornering and not nearly as much straight line speed. So, let's make our way through here. Still very easy. Yeah, this is a really enjoyable car to drive. I always get pleasantly surprised when I drive some of the older vehicles that have been in GTA for a long time, because I always think of them like, this is a rear-wheel drive sports car, doesn't have many upgrades, it's not the fastest, and then I pull them out and I'm like, wow, not only is this car pretty fast, but it's really fun to drive. So if you're a newer player for Grand Theft Auto, or you're an experienced player, I always suggest to try out some of the older vehicles that you may have overlooked because they've been in the game for a long time. They don't have much customization, but I still think this car looks great, and as you can see, it's pretty dang fast. We are making our way easily over to the motorcycle hangout area, which is usually where I like to stop. But yeah, no problems whatsoever, no crashes, and this was incredibly easy to drive. So yeah, I'm giving the Banshee overall on handling about an 8 out of 10 for sports cars. Acceleration, I'll give it about a 7 out of 10. Not the fastest, but not the slowest. And overall mobility when it comes to braking, handling, everything like that, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So pretty dang good overall. Now let's go try out the 900R. One thing I should point out about the BANSHEE 900R is that it jumps into the super class, where the Banshee is just in the normal sports class. So, pretty big classification difference there. Now, unlike the Sultan versus the Sultan RS, where there's only a 2 mile per hour difference in top speed, this vehicle, it has a very big difference in top speed. The Banshee goes, I would say, around 120 miles per hour, probably something close to that, where this vehicle goes upwards of 134 miles per hour, if I'm not mistaken. It is an incredibly fast vehicle when it comes to straight line performance. The problem is that it is only when it comes to straight line performance. Apart from top speed, this is one of the worst handling vehicles in the game. It's got pretty good braking, but oh man, it's just absolutely awful on cornering, forcing you to basically slam on the brakes the entire time you're trying to corner, which definitely eats into your lap time. So the real question for today's video is speed or maneuverability the better option? Honestly, I'm going to vote for maneuverability, but I don't know. It's a lot of speed you gain in the BANSHEE 900R. And obviously the 900R is in the Supers class, so not only do you gain all that speed, but do you actually lose any of that handling this vehicle has? I can actually tell you from driving this already, it doesn't feel like you lose that much handling. As long as you drive a bit slower than normal, this car quite easily sticks to the ground. I'm not having any problems with handling or maneuverability at all. You can see that there. And we are flying, as you can read on the speedo. So I'm actually enjoying driving the 900R. You can see it's a bit loopy on the rear end. It definitely loses grip here and there. But no major red flags about the 900R. I can very easily turn this car at full speed like this, and it's just that it doesn't really turn that well at high speeds. And at slow speeds, you might as well be driving the normal Banshee. I'm guessing that's what's going to end up happening here. But overall, top speed, obviously 10 out of 10 on this vehicle. That's one of the major things it has going for it. When it comes to handling, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 because it is in the Supers class. And when it comes to the overall maneuverability, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. So when it comes to the Supers class, it's definitely one of the worst cars. But if we were to talk about upgrades and everything like that, this car gets a flat 10 out of 10, where the normal Banshee gets like a 2. So that is a big difference between these two vehicles. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make our way over to the timed lap and see how these vehicles compare. And go! Alright, let's see how the Banshee does. Now you'll notice at the beginning, I really tried to control how much tire spin the Banshee had. Tire spin is an absolute killer to any rear-wheel drive vehicle because, especially at the beginning of a lap, the more of it you have, the more it's going to slow you down. But overall, the Banshee is handling very, very well. We are going quite fast here because it is downhill, but yeah, no real red flags with the Banshee so far. A little wide on that corner, but we're going to take this one short, and yeah, not bad at all. Okay, let's slow down through here, and yes, all right. Wow, this car handles just so freaking good. I really expected the Banshee to struggle on handling, especially through these really tight corners here, but it's just handling no problems. We're going very well here, around the Beamer, and keep on going. I'm going to slow down a little bit when going around this corner, but I'm going to use that downhill speed so we can accelerate very fast. Once again, slow down through here. Why you got to do this, Prius? If there wasn't a car there, we probably could have shaved off a good half a second on our time, but unfortunately there was. But we got a little lucky that there wasn't a car on the other turn there. Okay, well, we're doing good. Oh, don't want to crash, don't want to crash. Got to go a little bit slower than I'd like to through these corners here, because if there does end up being a car, obviously we're going to be going face first into it. We're at 1:20 so far, and not bad. Okay, nice. No cars in the way. Ooh, okay, we're all good, all good. Let's turn this corner a bit wide. I don't see anybody coming out of any corners, and full speed ahead. Alright, let's slow down a bit so we don't crash coming through this, get through the gate, and done! Alright, now we just got a full speed ahead up this hill. We're at 1 minute and 42 seconds so far on the lap, which is honestly really impressive. This is doing a lot better than I thought the Banshee was going to be able to. Let's slow down a bit through this corner, keep going, and done! That was a really, really quick lap. Boom! 1:57.44. We're just gonna round that down to 1 minute and 57 seconds. But that was honestly a really, really fast lap. I did not expect to see the Banshee do the lap that fast. So it's gonna be a really, really tough lap for the Banshee 900R to beat. 1:50. And off we go! Now you can see there was a bit of tire spin with this vehicle that we didn't really have with the Banshee, but that tire spin definitely doesn't really matter when you're going a lot faster, which this vehicle is. What I can tell you about driving the Banshee 900R, this is about my 3rd attempt on this time trial, just to get a feel so we can set a pretty good lap. The overall handling of this vehicle is worse, but I do like the fact that this car can drift, because drifting means that you turn a lot of your straight momentum into sideways momentum, horizontal. And what that means is that you can actually slow down pretty fast, and you're still moving forwards while you're slowing down. Now, unfortunately, this Corvette kind of got in our way there, which may have slowed us down a teeny bit, but I don't think it's going to matter all too much. Let's just keep on going. I'm really intrigued to see which of these two cars is going to do better. I can tell you for a fact that the 900R is a lot faster on its straight line speed. I mean, look at it here. It is incredibly fast, but you have to apply the brakes a lot sooner when you're going faster around these corners. So it really is a toss-up here on which of these two cars is going to do better. A bit of a wall scrape there, but honestly, I don't think that mattered at all on our handling because it didn't really slow us down too much. Let's just put on the brakes here. I've got to be really careful not to get too much air at these corners, because if I do, and there's a car in front of me like this one, oh god, we will crash into it, but we're fine. No crashes so far. I'm actually very surprised. Oh god, that car was gonna turn. Oof. Okay. We're good. 1 minute and 28 seconds on the lap so far, and we just got to slow down here so we can get through this. Let's cut through here, and all right, full speed ahead. Here we go. 1 minute and 40 seconds so far on the clock. Now, as we said with the other car, we finished 1:57. So this is actually incredibly close. Here we go. full speed ahead. I've obviously got to slow down a lot through this corner here. 151, 52. Oh, go, 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 go. Wow, that was close. 156.265 versus 157.44. That was ridiculously close of a lap time, honestly. If you want my honest opinion, I don't really think there's much of a difference between these two vehicles. Now, I do know that if you play on the newest generation consoles, you have the HSW versions of these cars. However, I play on PC, so I don't have the HSW version. Maybe one day Rockstar will add them. I guess we'll find out. But if you want my opinion, the Benny's upgrade is definitely worth it if you like top speed and you like the upgrades. I mean, this car looks a lot different than your normal stock Banshee, especially the back. I just love the look of this a lot more than the normal Banshee. However, I was actually really surprised how much better the handling was on the stock standard Banshee. Honestly, really freaking impressive. I am so surprised how well the Banshee did. The fact that it basically had the exact same lap time as a supercar that goes about 10-15 miles per hour faster is ridiculous. So I am quite surprised, and yeah, so let me know in the comments down below what you think. I think both of these cars are great deals, but obviously the fact that the Banshee's only like $100,000 makes it a much better deal than the Banshee 900R. I'll see you in the next one, and let me know what you think in the comments. Bye-bye.